Hello everyone, how are you all? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Dorsak and today I want to share with you everything that you need to know in order to achieve your unmedicated birth if that's what you wish to do. I personally gave birth almost 4 months ago to my son Fox, and it was such an amazing positive experience. And I remember saying in the beginning of my pregnancy that I want to achieve an unmedicated birth, and people are not really accepting it. So I was pretty upset and I was determined to actually go for it and normalize it, and I'm determined to help you to achieve that goal if this is what you're hoping for. So yeah, I want to share all the process, everything that I did in order to achieve that. And I just want to say a small disclaimer that all births are amazing as long as you have a baby, a healthy baby. That's all that matters. So if you need to do a C-section or use any type of medication, it is what it is, just embrace it and that's okay. But if you hope to achieve an unmedicated birth, this is the right video for you. Don't forget to take notes and we're gonna jump right in. I don't want this video to be too long, and I'm also gonna leave timestamps down in the description box. So yeah, let's get started. So the first thing you need to do is research. Do whatever you need to do in order to find as much information as possible to be prepared for this big day. It's like a race basically, and you're working towards the race, and once the day comes you need to be prepared. All the terms that are going to be used in this room that you're going to give birth, whether it's your house, if you're planning a home birth, or if it's a hospital or a birthing center, whatever it is that you find more convenient for you and more you and suitable for your needs, that's what you need to go for. So don't try to do what someone else did. Just see your options and decide for yourself. And once you decided that unmedicated birth it's the right thing for you, and that's why you're watching this video, that's perfect. But I do want to say that I'm not a professional. It's better to read and understand from professionals. So I myself obviously read some books, and I can recommend a few that I really think that are helpful. I was reading two, and my husband was reading one, and we were kind of exchanging information between us. So the first book that I was reading was New Active Birth. I think it's a really good one. And the second one was In a Maze Guide to Childbirth. So these two books are really important because they share other stories of positive childbirth and just let you know that it is super natural and it's super normal to decide not to take medication. Epidural was invented pretty recently, so women beforehand didn't use medication, so it's totally normal to just try to do it unmedicated and share strategies and other positions that you can do and things that are more related to the birth itself. My husband also read The Birth Partner, and the reason why I don't show you those books is because I gave all of them to my friend who are giving birth really soon. The Birth Partner is really important. It's just telling your partner, whether it's your husband, your wife, your friend, your mom, your sister, whoever it is that you're feeling comfortable with, basically give them all the information that they need in order to help you achieve your goals. The second thing, and is probably also really important, is to have a birth plan, just so you'll have everything laid down. And especially if you want to do an unmedicated birth, there's nothing more important than to have a birth plan, because things happen, things might change. You might decide in the middle that you don't want to continue with it, which is totally fine too. So a birth plan is basically your plan A. What is your ideal birth? So I have my birth plan here, and I'm just gonna read it really quickly just for you to understand as a reference what I mean by having everything laid out. So basically I have it divided to 3 stages, the stages of birth. So for the first stage I have free movement, use of tub and shower, limited cervical checks, please exercise, patient if labor slows or rests, no pain medication or epidural. The second stage I have free choice of position, calm and quiet voices, dim lights, use of mirror, perineal support, and no episiotomy. Third stage I have immediate skin to skin, delayed cord clamping, dead cut the cord, delayed exam for bonding, and leave vernix on the baby's body. So these were my preferences. I did basically all of them except using the mirror. I am kind of regretting not using the mirror. I kind of wanted to see what's going on there, but I did touch and felt. By the way, if you didn't watch my birth video, I'm going to link it right here for you to check it out because it's a good one. I'm super proud of this video. And I'm proud that I was able to share something like that. I think it's super important to share positive stories. So I'm gonna link it here for you to check it out just after this video. Watch this video first and then go and check it out. I also wrote hypnobirthers, just for them to know that we did our research and we consider ourselves hypnobirthers, basically practicing hypnobirthing. So that's a different thing. We're gonna talk about that later on. So the next most important thing is having a birth partner. I can't stress it enough how important it is to have someone to support you and to support your needs and to, you know, be your voice, because you're not going to be able to take care of yourself. You will be so focused with, you know, calming yourself down, be in the moment, just trying to, you know, breathe and do all the techniques that you need to do. So you're basically not going to be available to answer any questions. So you need that support, and for so many reasons. So I personally had my husband. He was the best birth partner that I could ever ask for. It doesn't need to be your husband or wife. It could be your mom, your sister, whoever it is. It makes you feel comfortable, relaxed, and that you really trust to, you know, be vocal for you, support you mentally and physically. Think and decide who is the right person to be in this room with you, for you. Some of the things that I would recommend to do with your birth partner prior birth: go over the birth plan, make sure they have a copy, make sure to have an extra copy to bring to the nurses or whoever it is in the room. Go over everything, explain the reasoning behind everything so they will understand as well. So if something is not available or something is like, maybe there is a complication, if you explain the reasoning behind it, it will be easier for them to make the right decision that will be right for you, most likely. Also practice birth positions together. Just explain what you like. I personally love physical support, also like verbal support. I needed to hear you can do it. I needed to hear you're awesome. I needed to hear all those good stuff in order to believe in myself, because sometimes you're losing it and you're not sure if you can actually do it, but they're there to help you and remind you that you can actually do it, and you can. So the next thing is everything that's leading to birth. So basically, around the 3rd trimester, you need to do extra things to make your body prepared for birth. So I want to talk about diet and exercise. I'm going to start with diet. I personally was drinking at least once a day the 3rd trimester tea by Earth Mama. Basically, it just helps your body to relax. There are some herbs that are good for you in the last trimester of your pregnancy. This one specifically included red raspberry, chamomile, and other stuff that are good for you while you're in your 3rd trimester. And the last thing was 3 to 5 dates a day. There's no research, like specific research about it. I am a person who loves dates anyway. Some say it helps to induce labor. I don't know if that's true, but I really love dates and they say it's good for you, so I did that. So now let's talk about exercise. We're going to talk about birth ball and perineal massage. So birth ball is pretty self-explanatory. It's a ball that's used for exercise, you know, for fitness, but you can also use it for pelvic relief pain sort of thing. The last thing I want to mention is perineal massage. So basically you use oil or some sort of lubricant and you slowly touch it and try to like push it towards the sides in order for it to be more soft and more flexible, and hopefully to prevent as much tearing as possible. I personally wasn't able to reach down there. I was super big, so my husband helped me with that. I had a 2nd-degree tear, so I'm not sure if it really helped, but I can tell you that it's something that's, you know, a lot of women believe in. Yeah, I feel like maybe it would have been worse without doing this type of exercise. I'm not sure. Moving on to the thing that I got most questions about, which is hypnobirthing. There are all kinds of like approaches and, you know, tools and strategies to go about, you know, unmedicated birth. There is the hypnobirthing, there is the Lamaze, I think it's called, and the Bradley method. All of them kind of basically aiming towards the same ideal, which is giving birth unmedicated without intervention and having a birth partner. Specifically for hypnobirthing, it's something that was invented in like 1989. I did my research, and that hypnotherapist that invented this method basically said that, you know, what a better way to relieve your stress, and practicing breathing and all that for sure can help you to have a better birth in so many ways, and I can totally agree with it. I totally recommend you to do your research about it. I can do an entire video just about hypnobirthing. My husband and I did like 3 classes hypnobirthing course, and I can tell you that we learned a lot. Here are some benefits that I wrote here that, you know, might be beneficial for you and might be something that you'll be interested in. Hypnobirthing and basically all these methods help to reduce pain by eliminating stress, which is totally true. Once you meditate and, you know, practice breathing, you just learn to release stress, which helps with pain. So once you're relaxed and open up and kind of accepting the situation and like want your baby to come, this is when things are getting quicker and less painful, lessen the need of intervention. It helps you to naturally manage your pain. It also helps you to feel in control. I did feel that I was losing my control like a few times during the labor, especially towards the end, but with the help of my husband, who was my birth partner, I was able to go back, feel in control again, using breathing and all that. And also lastly, it's better for your baby. I truly believe that if you're not as stressed, your labor is short, you're both working towards the same goal. He's pushing, you're pushing, and if you're less stressed and opening up, he or she needs to work less hard to get out. So it results with a healthier baby. That's what they say, and I can agree because it makes sense. I totally recommend you to at least try these methods and, you know, practice breathing and, you know, try to relax and all that. And I truly believe that without all this practicing that I did prior birth, I would have a lot harder time to give birth with no medication. So this is a great tool to use that you should definitely look into. The last few things I want to mention are things that while you're in labor, you're already prepared, you did your research, you have your birth partner. I was at home until I was 4 to 5 centimeters dilated. And this is another thing that I think it's really important to try to stay home for as much as you can. So you got to the hospital and you're in this room that you're gonna give birth in. The first thing is to set up the mood. We personally had lights, like small lights, which is definitely not necessary, but was really, really nice to have. My husband also set up like a diffuser. It was another sensory thing to help reduce stress. Obviously, my husband did all the talking, so it also reduced the stress out of me. So the last 2 things I want to mention are, you know, physical things that will help you to relieve pain. If you're able to be inside water, do that. Either being in a tub, a pool, even in the shower, whatever it is that's available to you. Use like warm water. If you're inside the water, like a pool or a tub, the fact that the weight is like lifted, it's also really helpful. It was amazing to be inside the tub. So if you have that in your facility, it's perfect. Use water as a pain reliever because it's really, really, really helpful. The last thing is massage. We use like a wooden tool. So my husband kind of like pushed that against my lower back when we were at home. When we got to the hospital, I was just inside the water, so I didn't need to use that. You can use counter pressure, basically put pressure in the lower back to help with the pain. So either use a tool or the massage. Another thing that's gonna relieve the pain. And obviously keep on breathing and use all the tools and the techniques that you learned. Everything that helps you to distress is really important. So I think we covered everything. Whew, I'm so out of breath. So now I want to go over some questions that you guys asked me over on my Instagram and here. Some questions that are a little bit more personal to my story, so I thought they're less relevant to the general scheme of things. So I'm just gonna go over them really quickly. And if you have any further questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments. I'm sure to reply because I'm very passionate about it and I'm determined to help all of you mamas to make sure you're doing everything you can to achieve your birth goals. So the first question was, why this decision? I'm thinking of doing it. So I believe the question was why I decided to go with an unmedicated birth. So basically it was something that I always wanted to do. I believe in us women that we all can do it, so why not me? That sort of thing. And also it's better for you and your baby. I'm scared of needles, so to each their own. Maybe you have other reasons, but that was my reason. The second question was, did you use listen to your body mentality? Definitely. Listen to your body is something really, really important. I use that mentality on a daily basis and especially during birth. The next question was, how much time did your labor last? 5 hours I was in active labor until I was holding my son Fox. The next question was, would you do the same same birth experience again with no medication. Definitely it was an amazing experience, and I would definitely do it all over again for sure. Okay, I have a good question here. I have, what was the hardest part of your labor? So basically the hardest part for me was the actual pushing, just because it took an hour. I just couldn't find a good position, and if you see the vlog, you'll see me like changing a million positions. Once I got to the position where I felt comfortable, it took like 20 minutes. What was your biggest fear and how did you overcome it? My biggest fear was tearing. That's why I practiced the perineal massage. I did have 2nd degree tear, but all I can say is that I didn't feel anything. It's just gonna be painful in general. You're not gonna know where the pain come from. Now, how I overcome this fear? I didn't. I was scared. I just believed in myself, and I knew other women did it before me, so I told myself, if they can do it, I can do it too. So one last question. I want to try an unmedicated birth at least once. Did you have second thoughts about staying unmedicated after the point of no return? I think it's a great question. No, I didn't want to have any medication throughout the labor, and I didn't get to a point where I wanted it and it was already too late. No, everything is better than needles for me, so I didn't get to that point, no. So I do have a few more questions, but I'm gonna stop here. I'm having a headache already. I need to feed Fox in like 5 minutes, so I'm gonna wrap it up here. Please leave all the questions you have down in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching, and if you find this video useful and helpful, please consider subscribing to my channel, and leaving a like will be very helpful for me as well. Yeah, that's about it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!